a really good salesperson that you take your customers with you because like you own the relationships and that the vendor is essentially renting them. And I thought that was
That's right.
a very interesting way to like look at things. So like what's the what's the deal with like some of these sales reps that work at brokers? So are they essentially usually getting into some sort of non-compete or non-solicitation?
Absolutely. So to give a little background on what we've kind of outlined so far. So these are documents called post-employment restrictive covenants. So they're after you've left the job, it's a restriction. So it's a limitation of your liberty, and it's a covenant. It's a contract. And so these come in different flavors. The ones everyone is familiar with is a non-disclosure agreement. When you say, I will learn something about your business, I won't tell anybody. That's very typical. Very few people have problems with that. But then you get these two interesting ones, the non-solicitation agreement and the non-competition agreement. When I said in that video about like effective salespeople, you don't get to own my contacts. You get to rent them. You get to borrow them until I'm done because they're mine and they're follow me. And the non-competition agreement is essentially when an employer says, you can come work for me, but when you're done, you don't get to work with anyone else like me. And if you do, I'm going to sue you. And these documents are usually presented on the first day of hiring. They're in a onboarding document. You have no time to review them yourself, and you certainly have no time to go to outside counsel and say, what am I getting into? But these documents generally are enforceable. They can go on for a year or 2 years and ban you from a geographic area. Maybe not just your city, maybe not your county, maybe not your state, maybe the whole nation, because you're selling to everybody. And you basically make it so that it's harder to compete. And these documents, you're at will. We're all at will. They can fire us because it's Tuesday. And so these are very dangerous documents, and they're very bad for companies. They're bad for employees. They're bad for customers, and they're bad for shareholders. That's why I joined this movement called End Non-Competes, and I'm vociferously against non-competes.